What is up, guys? Pat from Show Me Retro here. So today's video is going to be quick. It's just an update, more or less, or kind of a quick fix that I've recently found out about my Atgames Legends Pinball. Now, I posted a hashtag shorts video about the sound issues that I was having last week and got some interesting feedback from people in the comment section. I also got quite a bit of support from Atgames about the problem, and I will go into detail about that a little bit later. But first I want to show a little footage of that video that I posted just to kind of get you up to speed on the issues that I was having. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go into your settings menu, and you want to tab over to page 3 where you see pinball settings. Now once you're in there, you're going to see 3 values that we're going to want to change: master volume, FX volume, and music volume. So the first one is going to be master volume, and the number that we're going for here is 40. So we're just going to click that down until we get to 40. Then we're going to tab down to FX volume, and we're going to put that one to 25. Now once you get that to 25, you'll tab down to music volume, and you're going to put that to 3. Now I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, that's the number that seems to work, and it's not going to affect your overall music volume as much as you think it is. So now you want to tab all the way down until you get to this second tab that says reset all tables to default. So you're going to want to click on that, and then it's going to prompt you, are you sure that you want to reset all the tables back to default settings? And you want to click yes. Now what that's going to do is it's going to put all your table levels to 40, 25, and 3, including these Zaccaria tables. And it's also going to set your haptics to very low. Now, in case it doesn't take on the first try, just do a power cycle, and that should correct the problem. Now, one last thing we're going to do here, we're going to go up here on the table itself to that volume, and we're going to put it in a range of about 70 to 80. I think I'm going to put mine on 75. That's just a ballpark figure. Now, before I show some gameplay footage of the results after these changes that I did, I want to point out that this may not fix your particular sound issue, but if your table sounded anything like mine, there's a good chance that it will. And these settings are more of a happy medium for all tables, so after this you can tweak each one individually to your liking. Now I also wanted to give a shout out to John Irigoyen, who is the customer service manager at Atgames, for the help that he gave me through emails, texts, and even a Skype call. Now, Atgames did send me some new exciters, but as I suspected, they didn't seem to be the issue. You can see in this pic that the new exciters look slightly different than the old ones, and I'm not sure if that's something that down the road these are going to be implemented into the new cabinets, but it could be something that may be a better design that they will implement down the road to correct some of this vibration, because these things are actually glued directly to the plexiglass in that control panel. So now we're going to go back to that table that I showed footage of previously, and you can see that the levels have transferred from 40, 25 to 3. I'm also going to be bumping up the haptic from very low to low just to start out. As you can clearly hear, there is no more buzzing or distortion, and the sounds are much more crisp and defined than they were previously. And even though the haptics are set to low, you can bump these up to medium as well, but even on this low setting, I'm still getting some nice feedback. I'm not exactly sure what is causing this, but I do have a theory, and it's just my opinion. Other people in my comments have essentially said the same thing, but I believe the CPU is pushing all sound effects to the exciters instead of certain effects and ball movements, unlike the way a home theater receiver can be told to only send audio signals, say below 60 Hertz, to the subwoofer. You can see here I'm raising the overall volume using those buttons on the cabinet, and it's not creating any distortion or buzzing, so there's no need to go back into the settings to make any adjustments. Now I'm going to go back into the settings of that game. I'm going to go to haptics. I'm going to bump it up to the second highest level, which is medium. And again, no distortion or buzzing can be heard. Now, if you wanted to, you could bump your haptics all the way up to high, but just be aware that when you do that, you are going to get those exciters to really punch hard, mainly on your flipper movements, things like that, and that's when your sound can start to degrade a little bit. But it is doable, and probably with a little tweaking, you might be able to even minimize that even more. And finally, just to look at one of my favorite tables, this is Hot Wheels. Just going to go here to the settings just to show you that the volume settings have carried over. The haptics are set to medium as well, and you'll hear that it sounds perfectly fine. Now, there's not a lot of music in this one, which could have something to do with that, but I just wanted to show you that everything just sounds so much better, way, way better than it did before. I also want to touch on something, and I cannot stress this enough, and I hope people have stuck around to hear this. But if you are experiencing any issues with your Atgames Pinball, or any of the newer Atgames products for that matter, please let them know by contacting customer service and writing up a ticket, and don't let up, especially if you haven't heard back in a week or so. I mean, how are any issues going to get worked out, whether they're software related or newer parts sent out if they're hardware related? Being silent and unhooking your exciters isn't helping out the problem in any way. And let me tell you, Atgames went above and beyond to sort this out way better than other companies that I've dealt with that sell similar products.
I think we all know who we're talking about.
So there you go, guys. Just a few simple changes in that global settings menu, and this Atgames Legends Pinball is now so much more playable. And I'm like going back and playing a lot of the tables that I played in the couple weeks that I've had this, that I had to deal with this issue, and it's just so much more enjoyable. I mean, I can't tell you how much fun I'm having. Now, I will have a full review coming out very soon, but I just want to give this update because it kind of opened my eyes to, like, wow, this is not that difficult to do, and I'm not sure how many people actually know about this. And I'm not taking credit for this, and Atgames is not taking credit for it as well. The people in the Atgames Facebook forum apparently figured this out and just came up with just a lot of trial and error to figure out these different setting combinations and what works best. A lot of people were just telling me in the comments section of my previous video that they were just disengaging their haptics altogether by unplugging them, or turning the haptics off, or turn the volume down completely. And that's unfortunate because, you know, you're paying a lot of money for this thing and you really want to enjoy all those features that it has. So just give it a shot. Let me know in the comments section if it worked for you, and if there's any other things that maybe I overlooked that maybe will enhance this experience even more. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, comment, and consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.